was 12 o'clock, but it's not. It's 1:15, and I'm quite surprised. But yeah, I'm having this meal now. I found out what the difference is between this bread and the bread I was talking about a few days ago. Is that this is baker's with the flour on top of the crust, and with the darker crust, it seems. And then this is traditional. I knew there was a difference, but I didn't know what it was. But I saw this in the cupboard, this tuna, so I just thought I'd log it on. I saw this get thawed out yesterday, and I just saw it in the fridge, so I thought I'd use it. Now, it's not mine, but it's in my compartment. That's the sort of shit I mean when I say I'm using my space, even though we agreed they wouldn't do that, but they don't care enough. Now, what was I gonna say? I think I was gonna talk about going out my way to eat healthily. It is on the mind, and I'm literally listening to stuff about nutrition. To start going out my way to eat more healthily, I am gonna go and try and eat one of the oranges and just see what it's like, but I'll have these too. Yeah, anyway, I'm gonna eat now with the extra orange, with the Satsuma / Easy Peeler. I didn't want to have it because it's a bit soft, but it does smell like it's got, it is going to be nice and sour. We'll see. It could have been off, but it doesn't seem like it. As you can probably tell, it's a bit soft and it's not all that fresh. Oranges are soft anyway, but I mean softer than usual. It's actually alright. Okay, I will have this with the rest of it then. But I wouldn't have known if I didn't go out my way to try it. I was shying away from it, but here you go. I've gone out my way to start eating more healthily with having this fruit and committing more, as I've been going out my way to research about nutrition. There you go. I'm not sure if I said so, I'll say it again. Out of the 5 that were in the packet, I had 3 in the sandwich. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. 6:33 p.m. having this. I've decided to try and combat my want to go back to bed and sleep because I haven't slept by eating. So that's what I'm doing. I was putting tuna all over the place. There was even a little bit that I didn't record that I put in the sandwich. That's on top in the middle of the sandwich now. I understand why why the tuna was a bit all over the place on the table, because I've had no hours of sleep. I have not slept. I even felt hair in my mouth and everything. I don't know what that was. I barely have any hair on my head. But anyway. Yeah. I'm playing about with my eating to try and fight off the sleep so that I can sleep very easily when it's time to go to bed this evening. Before the camera cut out, I wanted to say that if anything, I can have the pasta that I've got there that I haven't yet finished with some of the tuna that's left. There's 2 cans left after having the 1 can of tuna I've had. I think I'm gonna eat it all. If I'm not careful, I might just, even though I haven't bought it, I might actually be eating all the tuna. It's definitely worth doing because of its high protein source, and also because of all of the healthy fats that I might get from it. Like, if I'm not mistaken, like your omega-3s and stuff like that, but that's a very uneducated guess. I might be wrong though. Salmon, for example, definitely does have fatty acids like omega-3s, and that's somehow beneficial to the health, but I don't know how. People speak about that in the Mediterranean diet. I remember reading in a book one time, but I've forgotten how fats from fish are helpful to the body. I don't know, but it is something that I can do. I've got, for example, a book that my sister allowed me to read that I'm trying to search for, but can't find. Oh, no, I found it. Yeah, that I could use to help me learn more about food in general, which I will record myself reviewing, seeing as I now want to go out my way to learn more about nutrition to help myself make a permanent change in terms of eating healthily on a daily basis. 11:58, I think, having this. This would be the third takeaway I've had in the space of 4 days. That's concerning. 12 minutes later, at 12:10, I'm finished. I don't know what the hell that was. That's like the chicken chop equivalent of a Kinder Surprise, but yeah, that's not my nugget. I asked for 10, they gave me 10 plus that. I don't know what that is. But anyway, I feel more than okay here. We've got 5.5 chicken nuggets, but I could keep going. And I might I'll probably let the food rest and then keep on eating because I like how it tastes. I wanted different chips today, hence I went to a different shop. But yeah, in order to eat more healthily, I definitely should carry on as I've been doing, like I did yesterday. I should carry on learning more about nutrition. 7:24 p.m. after around 4 hours of sleep, an amazing nap. I'm now having this as I make my pasta, mayonnaise, and sweet corn meal. Whilst I make the meal, yeah. I didn't see any mayo, so I decided to use this instead, and I want to eat these before they go off, so I'm going to have some of them as well. Make it easier to start eating more healthily. Speaking of, I've got an idea. So in order to further commit to eating more healthily, I could plan out the meals that I want to eat. I could use the meal plan now that I think about it, that I went and bought, but I don't think I'll stick to that whatsoever. Because I don't want to be eating broccoli and cauliflower all day and try and do the low protein stuff. I'd rather just stick to foods I truthfully want to eat at this point, not what I wanted to try and stick to back in June 2021 or maybe slightly later. I wanted another one. Whilst I was having my first one, in fact, so I decided to get one. I could be starting to feel more hungry because I've been I exercised quite a lot today. That could be it. 7:38 p.m. Here's the meal cooked. The yogurt vinegar sauce that I decided to heat up in there. I just decided to add it in there for no reason in particular. I wasn't thinking when I did it, but I did. We'll see how it tastes. I tried adding all of it, but that portion that I just showed, that's way more than enough. I wanted to add all of it because I was thinking that this is going to go off because I've added the yogurt mint sauce. I thought it was going to go off quickly, but if I can eat it, I will. And if I can't, I won't. It helped with recovering from the session, but I give myself a lot of protein. By the way, I did not go skimpy on these. I didn't think the tuna was enough, so I decided to just add them in. I thought there were only 2 left, but there are 3, so just use that, rip them up and added them in there. But anyway, I'm gonna have this now. Sorry, I mean this. I'm gonna have this now. I've decided to record in the front room because there's a whole load of stuff that I wanted to talk about that's based on eating and sleeping. It's around, like, this video is around like 8 minutes long or so, but in order to help stick to eating healthily and doing the things I say I want to do, I believe that I've got to make more of an effort with today's daily log, and today's daily food log, and I've got to put more in. So this is what I'm doing here, hence the video is still going. And as I was saying, I wanted to touch on eating and sleeping, and I wanted to touch on both topics in this video, even though it's a daily food log, because I know from experience that when you eat, how much you eat has a direct impact on sleep. And in order to further help me improve my sleep routine, I want to learn more about it. But before I do, I brought my biology books with me that I got recently to help me with these sorts of things. These aren't my actual A-level, this is a GCSE one, but this isn't my actual A-level one. I did A-level biology, but this is not the one I had back then from 2017 to 2020, I think. September 2017, I was going on 16. Wait, no. Sorry, 2018 to 2020, sorry. A-levels aren't 3 years long. Yeah, this isn't the book I had from 2018 to 2020. This is a newer one that I bought. The cover looks a bit different, but I'm not going to go get my old one to show it. Now, to get to the point, I wanted to learn about why it is that when you eat, you feel more awake. Now, even with just going out my way to think about it now, it makes sense that the body wakes itself up, even if you're feeling sleepy and you've eaten, so that you're awake, your body's awake enough and has enough energy to digest the food properly. Because if you're feeling asleep, that might be less likely because you're running on less energy, seeing as you're feeling less tired as you've just woken up. So that means I want to learn about hormone releases when you eat. So I'm going to go to the end of the book and try and look up like insulin and stuff like that. See how that goes. Here you go, insulin, pages 359 to 361, and then there's another page of 363. So 359 to 361. I've got to be careful because these videos, I don't want to permanently damage my throat. But anyway, 359 to 361. I want to know, why is it that we stay awake during when we eat? Here you go, look. I'll just read it out. Hormonal control of blood glucose concentration. Insulin. Insulin lowers blood glucose concentration when it's too high. It binds to specific receptors on the cell membranes of muscle cells and liver cells called hepatocytes. It increases the permeability of muscle cell membranes to glucose so the cells take up more glucose. This involves increasing the number of channel proteins in the cell membranes. See page 361 for more. I'll probably do that later on. Insulin also activates enzymes in the muscle and liver cells that convert glucose into glycogen. The cells are able to store glycogen in their cytoplasm as an energy source. Hold on. That might be very important information right there. The process of forming glycogen from glucose is called glycogenesis, which I can see here. It's literally just glucose with an arrow saying with the word glycogenesis on top of it, and then it has on the other end of the long black arrow, it has glycogen, and then above glycogenesis, it's got a small red arrow saying activated by insulin above it. So let's just go on that. So the cells are able to store glycogen in their cytoplasm as an energy source. So insulin helps store energy. Maybe insulin lowers blood glucose concentration when it's too high. Blood glucose concentration, so how much energy you've got in the blood. So it regulates how much energy you've got in the blood, which would make that would explain why with insulin that would partially explain like the effect that insulin has. Maybe I'm actually looking in the wrong place, because it seems like it as it literally says, insulin lowers blood glucose concentration, meaning that in order to gain more energy from the food you're eating, it's something else involved. And I've just got the answer. Glucagon. Glucagon raises blood glucose concentration when it's too low. It binds to specific receptors on the cell membranes of liver cells and activates enzymes that break down glycogen into glucose. The process of breaking down glycogen is glycogenolysis. No. glycogenolysis. No, glycogenolysis. Yeah, it's got to be. I can think about the spelling later. Maybe I was wrong then. Maybe it's not insulin or glucose. Maybe it's not insulin or glucagon that makes you experience increased energy, but it's instead the glucose release that you get from, for example, carbs. Is carbs, as I've learned, is a one of, if not our main source of energy. Like for example, from fruits, it breaks down into sugars, which is what we use for energy. That gives us energy. So I think it now makes sense as to why you feel weight from eating. So when, for example, foods that are high in carbs like rice they break down into their sugars, which is what gives us energy. And because of that energy increase, we experience an energy increase, we feel more awake. That's how the energy increase shows itself. So it now it makes more sense to me why or how eating has a direct impact, or not eating has a direct impact on our ability to sleep. Because if we, for example, feel hungry, I find it really difficult to sleep when I feel hungry, and I think that could be because the hormone that indicates to us that we're hungry, ghrelin, it makes us feel more awake so that we can eat, so that we have food, and then we can digest the food, and our we don't have to our body doesn't have to worry about like trying to fight for energy or just try to survive whilst we're asleep. We know from eating that we've got more than enough energy to deal with, so that we could carry out our metabolic reactions, that allow us to survive whilst we're asleep. We went down to a survival standard to have to worry about that. Maybe that's it then. Maybe I found the answer. But okay, look at this. But I could learn more. That's basically what I was going to say. Not word for word, but yeah. Negative feedback mechanisms and glucose concentration. Rise in blood glucose concentration. When the pancreas detects blood glucose concentrations too high, the beta cells, it's a fancy B, that would be called an SN in German, which would be two S's, but I think it's beta. The beta cells secrete insulin, and the alpha cells stop secreting glucagon. Insulin then binds to receptors on liver and muscle cells, the effectors. The liver and muscle cells respond to decrease the blood glucose concentration. For example, glycogenesis is activated. Blood glucose concentration then returns to normal. So hold on a sec, let's see that again. So, as I've just read, insulin decreases blood glucose concentration when it's too high, and glucagon or glucagon raises it when it's too low. And in order to remember that, I can kind of think about it like this. In order to rise blood glucose concentration, you gotta have more glucose. And I can remember it like that. Glucose increases, more glucose increases glucose concentration. I like to think glucagon, glucose, oh yeah, rising the concentration of blood glucose. So what is that then? Glucagon and insulin hormones, aren't they? Yeah. Glycogenesis, genesis meaning creation, and glycogenolysis. Wait, is that what it's called? Glycogenolysis. Yeah, glycogenolysis is breaking it down. All this is meaning like breaking things down, I think, from the A-level chemistry I did way back when, years ago now, imagine that. Anyway, to think one day I'll probably be saying that I was in doing the A-levels a decade ago and then it would just get longer and longer. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. Okay, I found my answer. I found what I was looking for. I think, after doing this little bit of reading, that eating more food increases blood glucose. It gives us more energy as, for example, carbs are broken down into their glucose. I don't want to say constituent glucose molecules, meaning glucose makes up, all the glucose chain makes up the starch molecules, basically, yeah. That is why, or so I think, why eating has a direct impact on our sleep. Oh, look, I can see here. Lysis means splitting. Glycogenolysis. Oh, so the O is just to be able to easily pronounce the word. Fine. I remember reading about that in an NHSD I got on work experience because I was volunteering in a hospital as I think, was I trying to work towards medicine back at 16? I don't remember, but yeah, that's why I remember that O rule from. I still have that journal to this day, in fact. But yeah, and oh, look at this. Neo means new, so gluconeogenesis means making new glucose. Okay. Then it's got information about adrenaline, glucose transporters. When I thought adrenaline, I thought the situation where I got approached in a hostile way by one person who was with three of his friends that I've spoken about before on the channel. I'd explained like how this works. So it's all to do with, that's interesting. So glycogenolysis is activated by adrenaline, and glycogenesis is inhibited by adrenaline, meaning glucose creation is stopped and glucose expletion, or using it, is activated to give you that energy to be able to run or to fight, for example, or make your whole body feel like it's shaking a little bit. As I remember sitting down on that chair and hearing, oh yeah, that's the person that called me fat, and then I got approached by four teenage boys. Anyway, that might explain the adrenaline rush, or the want for more energy, or the energy increase that I might have got compared to before they approached me. Adrenaline is a hormone that's secreted from your adrenal glands found just above your kidneys. I think kidneys are at the back of your body, and they're maybe just above the top of the core at the back, around about here, I think. I might be wrong though. I don't mind if I am, I'll learn it. Well, okay. Adrenaline is a hormone that's secreted from your adrenal glands found just above your kidneys. It's secreted where there's a low concentration of glucose in your blood when you're stressed out and when you're exercising. Oh, so you don't even need it for just when you're in a flight, fight, freeze situation. Okay. It does say when you're stressed, though. To think, even if you're not in a hostile environment, but just because you're stressed, you could experience that similar feeling, or a feeling that's a similar feeling, I meant to say, yeah. You can even, that's interesting, you can even experience it when you're exercising. I didn't know that. When I think exercise and hormones, I think endorphins, not adrenaline, but hey, There you go. If it were bullshit, I don't think it'd be in this school book, people they're just giving false information to people. Adrenaline binds to receptors in the cell membrane of the liver cells and does these things to increase blood glucose concentration, so that you can fight if you need to, you could run, or you could or so that you can freeze and gather a plan to do something about your situation. It activates glycogenolysis, the breakdown of glycogen to glucose. So glycogen is the larger form of glucose, I think. And as I was saying, it inhibits glycogenesis, which is the creation of glycogen molecules from glucose. Is it glycogen molecules or hormone? Glucagon is the hormone, not glycogen. I don't think. I think that's just another sort of sugar, a more packed one, like this, the same way proteins are a whole group of amino acids. Meaning, what I was trying to say there is that the glycogen is more than just one it's made from more than one glucose molecule, whereas one glucose is just the one glucose. It's just the one unit. Now it's got information about diabetes and stuff. I found what I was looking for. I could try and learn about sleep in here and see how that works, but I'm not sure if they really talk about that in the A-level books, even though sleep is a fundamental part of life and biology is the study of life. Maybe they don't care enough to add that sort of stuff in, because they think it doesn't matter, when I think it does, for sure, because we can't survive without sleep. I'm not Jeff the Killer. Where's, oh my gosh. I genuinely don't think they have it. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, K. No, they don't. The closest they've got to sleep is the sliding filament theory. Come on. Sleep is just as much a part of life as our muscles working. What was it? 343. And I suppose I'd have to go to my manual to find out information about sleep then, or go outside of the scope, as I'm doing right now, relative to the manual stuff. But yeah, I've seen this sliding filament theory stuff. It was one of the mock questions that I saw and that I read up about. There are videos 4x course about how to answer certain questions, and the tutor goes through all of the answers with very in-depth explanations as to why the answer is what it is. And one of the questions was based on the sliding filament theory. I probably would be able to find it, but I'm not going to. It was about which filament is the thin filament in the sliding filament theory. Which one is the thin one? That was the question, not word for word, but that was basically it. And I found out that it was actin. And the way how the tutor tried to get us to remember that is, actin, you can think of it as just thin without the H, and that's how you can remember it. But never mind, I forgot what I was going to say there. I've done a lot of talking by this point. How long has it been? 21 minutes. Damn. That's about half an hour. I think I'll give that a rest, and then I'll go to trying to find something about sleep here. I'm not sure I will, but I could give it a go. Because although this topic, it's got information about food and it's based on behavioural change, I'm not sure if it's got information about sleep. Learning outcomes. Know how to consult and support clients to change exercise behavior. Understand the importance of a healthy lifestyle. Understand the importance of healthy eating. Pardon me. Understand how technology can be used to support exercise adherence, which is what I do with the help of the Fitbit. Know the established protocols for health screening and fitness assessment of gym-based clients, and be able to consult / interview and support clients to change their exercise behavior. Nah, it doesn't seem like it's got anything about sleep here. I'm gonna go right to the end. Nah, nothing. No. If it did, that would have been a fundamental part of the topic. Or so I think anyway. It would have had a little note on there or something. Even if it was right in the top right corner where there's no writing. Yeah, I think going through this is probably pointless, honestly, because it doesn't have it. It's more about food. I've tried to go through, I've tried to find out more about sleep in the course I'm wanting to do, which is the level 3, but I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to find out much, even though sleep definitely is a fundamental part of maintaining your health. I just haven't been able to do it. I just haven't been able to find any information on it, unfortunately. So I be outside of going outside of the scope for the sake of my health, outside of the scope of the qualifications. I don't know what else to do, and I think that's a pretty sound decision to make, honestly. And in fact, I could actually go out the way to ask one of my tutors about if sleep, and for me, ask for knowledge on sleep, because that'd help. Nice, man. I've just seen a diagram which I found interesting, and it's about identify safe and realistic timeframes for achieving clients' goals. Age, current conditions such fitness level, exercise experience, time available, ability to recover, and injury / susceptibility to injuries, and specific goal. It's different because of how it's been shown, but again, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna dig up. Alright, that's that. I've got out of my way to understand why eating has a direct impact on sleep, and I think I'll leave that search there because I found what I'm looking for. I found an answer. So I think the next way forward I could go from here is to talk about my sleep routine. So I'll do that now after I've had a drink. I wanted to speak about sleep, so here goes. As I was thinking about places to find out about sleep, my first place that I thought of going to on YouTube was Healthy Gamer GG, as I've already seen videos about videos that he's made based on sleep, but I wanted to go one step further than that and try and learn more from a therapist's perspective by trying to find the information from like a therapy degree. And I think typed up therapy degree sleep on YouTube, and in doing so I found this video, and I think it's really going to help me out. I'll show it now. I've purposely left the time that I made the screenshot literally just a couple of seconds ago because it's a part of why my sleep routine is the way it is now. With this idea of sleep efficiency, with the way how she explained it, it was extremely easy to understand, and I can definitely say thank you for that because this idea of sleep efficiency has definitely been helpful. Now, within this idea, she spoke about three main things. She spoke about sleep latency, as in being in bed but trying to go to sleep, actually sleeping, and sleep inertia, feeling tired after getting up, or waking up but tossing and turning in bed. And with the diagrams that I did show, well, with the screenshot, you can see the blue dots. The blue dots are the sleep inertia, either the feeling tired after waking up, or tossing and turning in bed after waking up. I would definitely have periods here and there where I'd be doing this because I didn't even know this idea. If it had been taught to me in biology, I've completely forgot about it, but it makes sense. No wonder why I was fucked up. I was thinking, like, no wonder why, like, I was in my mind explaining it to myself like I was explaining it to somebody else hypothetically. That's just how I was thinking about it. And I think that is it. That is one of it being bed restriction therapy, and this idea that she's explained. I think this is definitely going to help me out. Now, I went through my A-level biology book, couldn't find anything about sleep. Went through PE, and I'm fucking disappointed in PE with the lack of knowledge that they've got on sleep. I tried finding it through sports psychology as it makes in my mind sense to believe that sleep plays a part in your ability to perform in sports, but I couldn't find anything on it. It's ridiculous. Maybe they just don't care, but in my mind, I'm thinking of saying they should be ashamed of themselves, as, in my opinion at least, sleep is a fundamental part of being able to function, let alone to be able to perform well in sports, which performing in sports is a fundamental part of PE, but although they might have information based on sleep, I've found it to be very difficult to find. I found it very difficult to gain access to information on sleep through those PE books that I've got. First one out of the two being this one, and the second one being this one. Now, with the A-level PE book, in fact, now that I say that, I could go maybe sports sites, try and look through, like how I did a long while back, maybe years ago, try and look for information from sports sciences degrees or something, because they might have information on sleep, but also go into therapy, like trying to find, maybe even buying books or therapy or articles from like where therapists would practice their craft, like getting the knowledge from those sorts of places as well, like therapy degree books. They might help with increasing my knowledge based on sleep. But for now, out of the books that I have, I've been able to find 2 pages worth on sleep in psychology, more than I've been able to find in PE books, which is like confusing to me, seeing as I really believe, like, if you feel tired, you're not training, like you're not going to be able to perform well at your sport or sports. But it is what it is. I haven't been able to find any, but now that I'm thinking about it more, because I'm committing more to making longer videos with the daily food logs and the daily exercise logs, now I think I've got a lot more of a solid way forward with learning about sleep, because I haven't been able to find much information, or in truth any information on sleep in my course, in my level 2 course at the moment. So yeah, that's gonna have to do, outside of asking my tutor for information. Right, so I've been here just chilling, and I wanted to speak more about sleep from the piece of advice I got. Well, not the piece of advice, what's in the book, or the psychology book, what's in the psychology book. And I think I wanted to also speak about maybe the like how my sleep routine has been. Apologies, it's going on 10 o'clock and I'm still feeling somehow awake. Actually, you know what? Before going with the psychology advice, I'll speak about what I heard of in that video, and it's this. One major thing that I wanted to speak about was that they said they would in fact recommend people go out of their way to sleep less than to sleep more through having an ideal time that they want to wake up, but going to bed later than they usually would to try and increase their sleep efficiency that way by having more hours spent asleep over the amount of time that they'd spend in bed, that over the amount of time that they spend in bed in total, and therefore we're not completely eliminating, but further reducing how much time they spend in the sleep latency stages of their sleep and the sleep inertia stage or stages of their sleep after they'd wake up. Now, with sleep routine videos, with the typical videos, my mind goes to Improvement Pill, for example. The sort of videos you see from a self-improvement space would be to try and take a more sustainable approach to sleeping earlier through not sleeping healthily and increasing your sleep efficiency, but just sleeping earlier, probably as a sales pitch really, by sustainably or seemingly sustainably reducing, no, by seemingly sustainably going to sleep earlier, meaning they go to sleep, for example, half an hour earlier than they usually would, then a half an hour after that, maybe the next day or the next week, etc. But although on paper I thought that that sounded like a good idea, especially when my mind was more impressionable as a teenager, I just never stuck to it. And those people that make those sorts of videos that offer that piece of advice might not actually take that into account. They just therefore go out of their way to tell people what they want to hear in pursuit of more money, because they'd be putting adverts on those sorts of YouTube videos. Maybe not. I am willing to be shown. Actually, no, I probably wouldn't look at it honestly, but I am willing to believe that what I'm saying is not completely the truth, and that's not the case, and it can be disproven. But that's what's on the mind right now. Do I have much proof of what I'm saying? No. So, although I've said what I said, like it's a fact, it might not be completely true at least. But that definitely, without a doubt, I don't know where from, it's a piece of advice I've heard on YouTube to try and cut back slowly by going to bed earlier, a little bit by bit, but it just doesn't work. Or at least from my experience, it hasn't worked, although some people might disagree and say otherwise. I'm just looking at the timer. I know it's got like 20 minutes left, and it's got 15 minutes left, seeing as this 4.5 minute clip I've filmed at this point. So that I've done the 1 hour, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go outside, and then I will then go to sleep. I didn't even think of sleeping later, but I'm gonna, from today, after doing that research, with the help of further committing by making a longer video, I am gonna go out of my way to improve my sleep efficiency, which on paper seems like an extremely basic idea, but I'm not going to be regularly tracking throughout the night when I am and I'm not asleep. I'm not going to be able to track when I'm asleep because I'd be asleep unconscious. But I could try, I can give it a go and see, just have a guess as to when I'd be in the sleep inertia stages, and I can go out of my way to further count. No, I could go out of my way to further counter this because I am now aware of this idea of sleep inertia. I'd stay in bed for about an hour after waking up, even though I've been in bed for many hours. But I didn't know that there was a name, I didn't know that there was a term for that. I didn't know. But now that I have a term for it, and in therapy, in a nutshell's words, named it to tame it, I can now do just that, tame it. And by tame it, I mean further control myself, and by trying to reduce sleep inertia, but excuse me, further reduce sleep inertia, to therefore increase my sleep efficiency by having more hours spent asleep over more hours I've been in bed not asleep. Yeah. Actually, in fact, now that I have done that, I don't know, it would be helpful if I came up with a plan on how to track it, but I think just making a start on trying to get up as soon as I wake up, that would help improve my sleep efficiency to begin with. Making any sort of effort would help, so I'll do that to start with, and no matter what, get up when I wake up to further improve my sleep efficiency, to that way be able to further enjoy life. Honestly, one of the main points that I wanted to talk about with my sleep is this: at least recently, the times in which I've enjoyed my days on this earth the most have been the days in which I've seen the sun rise, just like today, even though I didn't have any sleep until like 1 to 5 in the afternoon, or 5, half 5, give or take. So because in my perspective and in my opinion, life seems to be worth living more, even though it's the same 24 hours in the same spring season, exactly the same things going on, but my perception of the day is different because I'm seeing different things, because I'd be up at different times. I want to get up before the sun's up. I did it today. I was up all night, and I liked it. It being seeing the sunrise, not the lack of sleep. That felt normal to me though, and I was able to get through with it and deal with it. By the time I did around about 3k steps, I definitely got on over the sleep. But to further improve my sleep efficiency, I have to restrict the do as they were advising. I think it's going to help, and by that I mean go out of my way to implement some sort of bed restriction therapy, because I really do think it would help. If I'm in bed, especially after doing 10k steps, there's no way I'm not going to feel sleepy. It will hit, just like how it hit today. And I have to say no. Instead of going to bed, I've got to go to the garden or stay outside. Do not go to bed. That would be easier to do if I just don't go in the bedroom at all, but I'd like to imagine I could be able to trust myself to not go in the bedroom, to be able to go in the bedroom but not go in bed after doing 10k steps. I'd like to imagine I could trust myself to do that, but to make it a habit to not go to sleep as soon as I've done the 10K steps, I might have to just not trust myself, maybe. 9:46 p.m. now having this. Because I get more energy from this food, it's going to take longer for me to go to sleep. I feel energy-wise, I feel much more, I feel more than fine. I feel full. I feel thirsty though, but I definitely would be able to get easy sleep food-wise. However, eating this means I get more energy, which would then mean I go to sleep later. And if I wake up at the time I'm trying to wake up at, which is 4, so I can see the sunrise and enjoy my days more, then I'll be making it a lot more difficult to not improve my sleep efficiency, on the premise that when I wake up, it's time for me to get up to improve my sleep efficiency and to enjoy life more. Yeah, but on that note, I'm going to have this, and I will finish off the video talking about the notes I'm going to read through in the psychology page that I've got bookmarked with one of the pages from a manual. Before I do that though, I want to talk about the notes that I've made on iPhone notes about improving my sleep efficiency, basically what I've learned from the YouTube video, and I want to speak about what I've written. Then I'll move on to the psychology notes that I'll eventually read up after eating this. But in the meantime, I'm going to just watch a YouTube video of what I was watching earlier based on like vicious cycles on anxiety that I just stumbled across upon in the feed whilst looking at the videos, trying to learn more about improving my sleep. I'm not sure if I said this, but the sauce is yogurt mint sauce. It's been a while since I've made the gone out my way to make another clip. I'm starting to feel really tired now, even though there's about less than 8 minutes, slightly over 8 minutes left until I would have reached an hour's worth of footage. So to make things go by quicker, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on focusing with the video, and I will post the notes that I was talking about, because I said I wanted to talk about that, but I'm feeling way too tired. I'm done, man. It's 10:30. I'm finished. I really do believe I'm onto something with trying to improve my sleep efficiency, and I'm not sure if I've ever really, at least recently, had a thought based on trying to improve my sleep latency. I mean, I know that in the past I'd find that it'd take a while for me to fall asleep, and I think I understand why, because there have been many times when, just like with everyone else, when I found it difficult to go to sleep and I found it very easy to go to sleep. And the difference between both sorts of days would be because of what it would be based on what I was doing in the evening. And with the days I find it easy to sleep would be the days where I've exerted myself physically, basically just before going to bed, or at least a couple of hours before. So for example, I've been going out my way to get 10K steps a day, and I'd find it very easy, like sleep latency. I didn't know the name for it, or the term for it, but sleep latency would be significantly reduced when I would exert myself physically in the evening. So it's definitely something worth considering to do, even if I've already got my 10K steps, because I'm looking to improve my sleep efficiency so that I can enjoy life more, due to going out my way to change my perspective on life, or my perspective on how my days go by waking up earlier, just in the morning before the sun's up. And when I say earlier, I'm talking about relative to when I wake up in the past, for example, 2 o'clock in the evening, due to being up all the way, being up on the screens all the way until 6:30 to 8 in the morning. So in order to improve sleep latency, to make it easier for myself to sleep will probably significantly improve sleep efficiency, because like Healthy Gamer GG said, I've referred to him a lot about like this past couple of days I think not only in this food log, but maybe yesterday's one as well, maybe even yesterday's daily exercise log. But I've been watching his videos quite a bit recently. I'd watch on and off, but anyway, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh no, I don't remember. It was to do with sleep, but it's left my mind, so I'll let it be. But very basically, going back to what I was saying earlier, I noticed that if I were to, after going for a long walk and get my 10k steps in, sleep latency would be significantly reduced. Like when my whole body would hit the bed, that's it. I'm done, because I feel physically exerted, and because I've exerted myself physically, and hence I need it to recover. I find that with those sorts of days as well, quality of sleep's higher. Like I want to stay in bed for longer, and it doesn't feel uncomfortable. And now that I bring that up, oh my gosh, it feels like my teeth are a bit sensitive even talking at the moment. I've been there and I need to go to the dentist, but I need to have a lot more money coming in than just a universal credit claim for that to be a financially sensible decision. Anyway, yeah, they're inflamed. But as I was saying, with the days that I find it difficult to sleep, that's another thing. I feel uncomfortable in bed because it wasn't time for me to sleep, because I hadn't exerted myself physically enough, so sleep wasn't as needed. But I try and force myself to do it. I shouldn't. It just doesn't work out, and I'd just be on the phone until my brain can't take it anymore. So from now on, maybe in order to improve sleep latency, I can not only go out my way to keep on learning about sleep and keep on brainstorming ideas, but I can go out my way to take action on it, starting from today, really, with trying to going to bed only when I feel tired, and not thinking about when I think I should go to sleep, and no longer following the rules that your parents will give you about watershed and bedtime. No, that's up to me now. In my head, I'm thinking I'm too old for that shit, to be told when to and not to, when I should and shouldn't be going to bed. Like they give a fuck about my sleep efficiency. I do, but they won't. I'm not even sure if my parents will know what that is. But anyway, enough about them. This is about me right now. Regardless of how selfish that may sound, I need to work on myself, that's for sure. In order to live more ideally, it's got to be done. I deserve to enjoy life. And the more I keep on working on myself, the more I keep on enjoying life, because the more I do it, the more normal I feel. That's how things have been going recently. And I plan to keep that going. I plan to keep on working towards making that happen. Being able to be physically fit, having high sleep efficiency, starting from today, seeing as I've been wanting to improve my sleep routine, but I just didn't know that sleep efficiency was a thing, or if I did, I'd forgotten about it, honestly, because that's not where my thoughts were. I was committing too little into going out my way to improve my sleep routine. I was putting too few thoughts on it, even though I tell myself I'd want to do it. I was committing too little. That is not enough. Just saying that I'd want to do it, I want to improve my sleep routine, is not enough. In order to do it and to go that next step, I have to do what I'm now doing, which is going out of my way to commit more. For example, through making videos every day that are an hour plus long. for both the daily exercise log and the daily food log, or logs, sorry. At 10:44 p.m, I went to this part, as I said I wanted to go to this part in the psychology book to learn more about sleep. None of it other than trying to learn more about like circadian rhythms, just none of it's gone in. I'm gonna let it be, because with the last clip it ended at 59:59, so it's been over an hour, so I'm done. I mean, look at me, man. I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm not even lying on the mat. I'm done. So cheers to learning more about sleep and just overall health, and cheers to cheers to making things happen and living more ideally, bit by bit, piece by piece. Cheers to learning as well. Right. Bye now. Peace. I'm gone.